Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode, the third episode, as far as I know, of Cardigains with your boy
Round
Max.
3.
What?
Round 3.
Round 3 with Max and Joshua, and we're excited again because we're always excited about this stuff. It's a hoot. We have a blast.
Joshua's very tired.
Yeah. I did not sleep well last night either. It's like two nights in a row.
Also did not sleep. I didn't sleep enough. We went out for like a work party.
Yeah.
And I usually go to sleep around 8:30, 9:30 p.m. And it was 11:30. And I was messaging you, I think. And I'm like,
Where?
I'm gonna be up at 5.
Yesterday we had a little get together for Andrew, my sister's fiance. Ooh, sinuses are all blocked. I have boogers.
Boogers, you guys.
Anyways, we had a little celebration for him because like 2 years ago he graduated, but yesterday was his iron ring ceremony because he's an engineer, which is exciting. We're all very proud of him. He did great. And yeah, so he lives very far from the where the little cocktail party was happening. So in the afternoon, like my parents and I, his mother and I guess future stepfather and his siblings, we had like a little coffee and cake type of thing at him and my sister's apartment. And then from there, they came here, dropped some stuff off, and then went downtown. And then at a certain point, Chloe came back here with his brother, who also went to the little event. And then they ended up sleeping over. So this morning, I got to hang with my sister and Andrew. We all had pancakes and it's dope.
How does it feel knowing that you're gonna have a brother-in-law?
The title itself is strange, but overall it's like, oh, it's just Andrew. It's still Andrew.
Andrew.
I think like it's weirder to think about my sister getting married, because first, like, she's younger than me.
Hey man, you could be an uncle.
I know.
We have a guy who goes to our gym, and his family goes there, right? They haven't announced it to people, but like his daughters are pregnant, and he is so excited.
We're not gonna drop the ball if we say that, are we? But like
there's like 400 people who go to my gym. It's fine.
Okay.
There's a lot of like family units, which is really cool.
Okay. And we're not gonna say whether we can't say whether this gym is like the gym you train at or the place you work at. So it could be either of those.
We're being honest.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks, I have had 7 people tell me that they're pregnant at the gym. And I'm like, what? Whoa, what's happening? But no, he's like, every time I see him, I'm like, oh, hey man, how you doing? He's like, just call me Pops. I'm like, okay.
That's awesome. That's a good vibe. I love that.
Friggin' speaking of kids, this one guy, I guess we won't name drop people, who goes to Omega, just had a son. Kid is 8 months old, and he's like in gymnastics already.
Oh my god! Well, it's gymnastics.
Yeah, they set up like plyo boxes, not like,
yeah,
you know what I mean, like the soft ones,
the cushiony ones, yeah.
And just had him like climb up all of them, and it was so cute. It was the coolest thing ever. I know.
That's cute. Oh. So I think you wanted to start. I mean, we're several minutes into our video at this point, but you wanted to start off the conversation by talking about goals and whatnot once again. I feel like we talk about goals a lot, but I think you said you wanted to make it like a theme for the first like 10 minutes to
Just
like
the
sort of.
first few minutes to check in and see how like our goals are going, just talk about it.
Mhm.
We had okay, so I think we had 3 topics. We had our current goals, all of that.
Mhm.
We were gonna talk about beta males. And then we had another thing.
Mhm.
Oh, was it how I'm happy with my physique? There was something else we were gonna talk
I think so. And like with
I can
that,
go
I
back to
wanted
the
to link in
conversation.
your competitive future. Um, we could talk about. I want to talk about accountability and bodybuilding genetics because I find that's a fun one to talk about.
Genetics is very interesting to talk
It
about.
is very interesting to talk about. But let's start off with just like how your goals are going. Hit me.
They're going. I think
That's
last time I talked about how I was upset. I was kind of force feeding, and I wasn't
Mhm.
about it. I
Yeah.
have since just, I don't know, just the last week has been better overall. I've started making shakes, and we talked about that. And
That's good.
there's this one woman who goes to my gym, and she refers to it. Her and I talk about it as sludge because it's when you put all the ingredients together, it just turns like gray,
Yeah.
and it's thick and not exciting. But it's like 1,000 calories. Macros are so solid because I have trouble getting in carbs. So it's just a full cup of oats and blueberries and stuff. So I can have that, and it's pretty quick to digest as well, which is very interesting. I have my pancakes, my chicken recipe. I'll do some oats. I'll typically, I don't know. We usually go out. I go out at least.
You
Probably
do
like
like
twice a week.
like a once or twice a week
Yeah,
meal type thing.
that's good. I have one that like fits my macros, and the other that's just I just want to eat.
I feel like it's a healthy way to approach that.
I have like salmon and rice. I was gonna telling you to make burgers tonight, maybe. But it's good. I've messed with my meals, and now everything's around. I think my lowest meal is about 650 calories on average. I'm looking at 850. So it's only 4 meals and some snacks, which is not bad. Yeah.
Now I get why you're feeling so full. Because those are big meals.
I feel, dude, I go to the gym and I feel pumped.
Good.
I have so much energy and just,
Yeah,
I've also just mentally been in it lately.
that's good. That's a good feeling to have.
I helped coach a little seminar yesterday
Yeah, you were
on
saying.
rowing machines. This one was different. And I walked in, and normally I'm like super loud and bubbly, whatever. But I was just, I have a picture. I think I might have sent it to you, where I took 3 screenshots. I recorded a whole set, like my last set of bicep curls. So I screen capped my face in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the set. And immediately went to work. Like 6 minutes later, I was dressed at work, and everyone's like, yeah, you just seem super upset. Like the energy is super low. You seem really mad. You're not looking at anyone. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I looked like 6 minutes ago. But no, like, and I was talking to Chase about it, the push pull guy.
Yeah.
And I was talking about his hoodie and the new hoodie because it's so big, the hood goes to like here.
Yeah.
It's so good. Oh, it's the best.
That's awesome.
So I've been mentally in it. I'm gonna train. My friend Allie's coming down from Toronto area.
Oh, super.
This coming weekend, when I'm hitting sets of squats, I think she's gonna be down for my bench day. And then I don't think it's the next week or the one after. I'm going to Ottawa to train with Damien.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
It's gonna be my PR week.
Oh, that's gonna be a blast.
It's supposed to be bench. We might do squat. I'm not sure.
Can you squat
I'm
more than
excited.
Damien?
Maybe.
You guys should
Probably
have a
not.
squat. You guys should
Probably
have a
not.
squat off.
I was there when he squatted 385,
Okay.
which is respectable,
Mhm.
and a lot more than me.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Probably not.
Ah. No.
I feel like I'm more aesthetic, however. That's usually where it draws the line with like all of our friends and whoever. It's just like you and I are the aesthetic ones, and then you're also strong, but then everyone else is like super wild.
I'm also the oldest, so I'm like a no. Gil's the oldest.
Piloto is 32.
Something. I have no idea.
Older than
You told me he was old. No, but I feel like because I'm older than a lot of you guys, I have like a mix of everything. And I want to go on a
French and
tangent
Italian.
first. Pardon?
French and Italian.
I am French and Italian.
I also need
Not
to
that
set
French
everyone.
though. Yeah, my goals have been steadily okay. I have a weigh-in tomorrow, so we're gonna see. My goal is just to like steadily increase my weight, and like I'm not getting fatter, so that's good.
Good.
Like visually with the mirror, I could tell that like I'm not putting on fat. I'm just steadily growing.
Getting large.
Pardon?
Getting large.
That's the goal. My arms are growing, which is really cool because my arms are a real weak point. I feel like because I'm actually training them properly now, like I'm putting a lot of effort to like, because during prep I did what we're not supposed to do, and like I'd always have my arm day mixed in with like another day, and so I'd go full force on like the first muscle group, and then I'd like sort of half-ass the arms and then just go home. So because of that, like I'd mix like arms and chest and then arms, shoulders and arms, and like it wasn't flying because I chest is a weak point and I know that. Arms is also a weak point and I know that, but I'm hitting chest first, so I have to like balance the two.
It just it doesn't seem like a good time.
No. And what I've done instead is I've just been a bit more efficient with my chest training, and now been more strict with myself, and like the accountability is there where I'm like, hey, you lost like a few placings because your arms didn't measure up, and you have to, and like this is something you have to work on. And also I've included like, instead of having like arms and shoulders, so tris, bis and delts, I'll do like back and bis and then shoulders, triceps, and then like a second chest day on Friday.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I'm spacing things out a little more. I think I'm going to swap the order just because I don't want to be fried for chest after hitting shoulders and triceps.
I had that. I brought that up yesterday where I'll do pullovers and I feel it sometimes, like it's usually the end of my set, my triceps are giving out. I'm like, oh yeah, I have a heavy bench and mainly tricep day right before. So it might be why.
That could be why. But yeah, that's how my goals are going. And like I'm 2 weeks into like a concentrated bulk. My eating has been like hit and miss. Tomorrow I'm getting groceries for myself, so that's good. And we're just gonna see how this week progressed in terms of like body weight, and we're gonna go from there.
I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have Loblaws in the Montreal area?
They do. There's one close-ish, like a 10-15 minute drive from my house.
If you go before the end of the week, or before Wednesday, I tell this to people all the time. I just stopped on the way home. It's literally on my way. Loblaws is very expensive, but I got a thing of extra lean ground beef. Extra lean, it's expensive. 1.77 kilos for $14.50. I randomly found this out like a few months ago, and I think I will always have at least 5 kilos in my freezer, just there.
That's
5
awesome.
kilos, 5,000. So that's like 40-ish meals. It's a lot. It is a lot, but like you can use ground beef for so much, and when it's
Yeah.
extra lean,
Yeah.
30 gram protein serving is only, I think it's around 9 to 12 grams of fat. Like, it's not a lot.
Wow. That's impressive. That's
Oh,
awesome.
I know. I know.
I gotta find my water bottle.
Well, I'm curious now. What is it that you've been eating?
Pardon?
What are you shoving in your mouth?
What am I shoving in my mouth?
Food.
Oh, what am I eating? See, that's the thing. My eating's been terrible. My go-to meals will be like a Gainswich if we have bagels, a lot of peanut butter jelly sandwiches.
How
Yeah.
old are you?
I am old enough to make my own food.
I need a meal prep. I don't
Me
know.
too.
I have zero. I have meat for pasta, but I don't have like any other meat. I just ate the rest today, unfortunately.
Fair enough. I have no meat. I ate the last of my tuna just now.
Oh, I have that.
It's
There
a
we
play. I got the flavored ones, the Thai chili, and it's so good.
Really?
Yeah, a little
Interesting.
bit. It's like a little bit spicy for me. Like you might find it spicy.
I'm white, so yeah.
I know.
Someone told me they invited me out for it was some kind of Indian food. I don't know. And they're like, "Oh, I get butter chicken, whatever." Well, they're like, "Oh, get this," and I'm looking on the menu. I'm like, "This is full of spice." They're like, "You can probably just get it without spice." I'm like, "I'm not gonna go and not have it without spice." Like, what? Come on.
And how was it?
Literally everything was made with peanuts, and I was like, maybe I don't go. Actually,
That's kind of bummer.
also everything is spicy, so all right.
Topic number 1.
I have no idea where you're gonna go with this. I'm excited.
Which one? Which topic?
Beta males.
Okay, so the big thing about this, I want to like not just talk about obviously the beta males, because we can't talk about just one and not talk about like the alpha male mentality thing. And I've wanted to talk about this like in this type of setting for like ever, because it's a very interesting topic for me, because like it was pointed out to me by one of my friends back when I did martial arts that people sort of interchange the roles of alpha and beta. You'll never be like constantly the alpha, because in a certain situation, like say in like a situation where like you know more about a situation, like about a subject than me, you'll take on the role of alpha and be like, hey, take this, and you'll just take the ball and roll with it. And then like, but like even then it's like, does that make sense, or is it just like people working together in like a situation that's requires no being better than the other one? And so like because I've meditated on this subject, there's no such thing as like the alpha. or not so much as there's no such thing as the alpha, as the alpha male, or the alpha person in any given group is the person who's not trying to be the alpha person. Right?
You're not wrong, actually.
And the example I like to use, like the example that I think of is, and people will disagree on me with this, but Mike Rashid, he's like, he monetized the alpha mentality, but like, and the reason I say him is not because he's like rich and buff and like doesn't give a fuck or doesn't care what other people say about him. It's like kind of that, because he doesn't care what people say. It's kind of just like he doesn't care. He's gonna do his own thing, and he's just like, yeah, okay, you do you, and then he does his own thing. That's kind of what I see as like the alpha mentality. It's like he's not putting anyone down. He's encouraging other people to come up and like do the best that they can. And like I feel like if you bring up people and you do like things that aren't so much of like you trying to like posture all the time, then you're in that range. And on the other side of that is if you see like the dudes who are trying to posture and like be the center, like trying really hard to be the center of attention and like trying really hard to be that bad, like that guy. It's like that's like deep down inside they're like very they have the very fragile ego that can be broken like that.
100%.
It's like that's more of what I would describe as a beta male.
I feel like there's also a level of respect as well.
Yeah.
And that if like I really respect someone because of those traits that you mentioned, that puts them not on like a pedestal, but like so far above other people, which I find is very interesting.
Okay.
But it's like the people who are actively trying to gain that respect of others. It's like, well,
yeah,
you can't really do that because you're similar to what I talked about with Rachel, and I guess by extension you. It's like people who go to the gym. It's like we enjoy the people who go there to feel good mentally, and then over time they look good.
Yeah.
Whereas people who go there to try to look a certain way and be a certain way, it's not going to work out as well for them.
Mm-hmm. I think
kind of the same as what you're talking about.
Yeah, Rachel and I had a similar conversation, and I want to describe like, so there's different types of people who do bodybuilding. Obviously, there's like the gym bro that just likes lifting and wants to get huge, but he takes like a very knowledgeable approach and whatnot. And then there's the gym bro who wants to compete one day, and then there's the what I like to call the Ziz lifters, and they're the guys. And like I would like to preface this with the I used to be this type of person where like you show up in like a nip stringer with like just like whatever, being like the quote unquote like stereotypical D-bag type of vibe, and you're there to show off kind of thing.
Right.
Like that's the beta mentality that I would that's what I would describe as the beta mentality within a gym setting, if that makes sense.
I also would agree that I also was that person.
Well, I feel like we all have to go through that phase.
100%. 100%. I feel like it definitely was not until I stopped caring about what anyone else thought.
Mm-hmm.
Short shorts, hood up, do my thing. And that's when all the results came in. And that's when I had the respect of other people.
Yeah. I think it started for me when I stopped wearing tank tops to the gym and just like started wearing pump covers.
Yeah.
Because like I'd feel like, not that I would like anticipate people watching me train or whatever, but it's like in the back of my head, I've got my tank top on. I'm like, I'm kind of trying to be bigger and like flex and whatnot to like make up for the lack of pump, and just like, yep, I'm still here. I'm here, and I'm or whatever.
I
But
see a few people who have invisible lat syndrome, and it astounds me
I love that.
because I see these people and I think everybody knows that, like, no one naturally stands like this.
So,
I'm like, you also don't, these people don't have lats either. I'm like, I'm not, what are we flexing here? I'm really confused. Peacocking is a good way to describe it.
yeah. I'm very glad that I never had a invisible lat syndrome phase.
It's just a phase.
Well, like, we have to go through these like phases of growth to improve on ourselves and like become who we eventually become as people. I've thought about this a lot, and usually while I'm on chair at the pool, like these thoughts just pop into my head. But it's like I'm very grateful with where I'm at as a person, because I like, especially when it comes to training, because I no longer seek out like I remember when I was like 17, guys beside me were like incline pressing 70s, and then me at 17 was like, oh, now I've got to up them. And I've like try it, fail, and be like get all frustrated like within my little like bubble.
I'm glad I did not know you at that point.
Like I wasn't like terrible to deal with, but like I definitely am glad that I'm no longer that person. Like I was probably terrible to deal with. Bah. You were a much better 17-year-old than I was.
Yeah, big ass forehead. I'm getting distracted. I had someone tell me yesterday, because I made like a little progression. I made a reel, but I also made just like a couple photos. I think it was when I was messaging you. But like my coworker was watching me just like make all these. I'm like, hey, what do you think of this and this? She's like, man, you've come super far. Like, it's amazing. And I was just like, it was weird. It was, I could actually accept the compliment because I could fully realize, like, yeah, I used to be awful. Like, there were some ways where I just was not ideal and I didn't like who I was. But I feel like when I was in that zone, if someone gave me a compliment, I'm like, no. Because in my mind, I hadn't changed at all. So I'm like, if you compliment me on how I am now, opposed to how I used to be, but I don't see that as how I used to be, I'm like, that's still who I am. You know what I mean?
Well, one of the pictures that you had shown me yesterday was when like one of the last few weeks of us being in the house together, when we finally discovered the good lighting in the attic. And like you're hitting an abs shot, and then it's like that sick down lighting, and like you didn't look quite as muscular as like the after picture where you're in the gym mirror, you're doing like an ab shot from the side, like, and it like this, it's just that was the end of 2019. That was 2 years ago.
See, the thing about that too is the first one I'm trying. The second one I'm just like, okay,
you're like,
how do I
just
look?
playing with it.
Yeah, I'm like, how does everything react? I also have for the first time in my life, I'm not skinny or skinny fat. And it's really interesting. I have a good, like,
well,
I have the perfect body composition, I feel, for my goals at the moment. And it looks solid. It looks good. And then I see, like, there's one guy, Cam, who goes to Omega. And he posted when he was at the end of prep versus where he's at now. And he's like 50 pounds up or something. but it looks like he's only like 4% body fat up. I'm like, oh, and that gives me so much motivation.
That's bananas.
I know. I also then proceeded to watch him rep out 310 on bench or 305 on bench for like a set of 6. I'm like, what?
This man's still natty. Doesn't matter. He's crushing it.
No, he's killing it. He's also like 6'1", 6'2". He's got wild leverages.
That's bananas. Something I wanted to mention. How much are you weighing in at now?
I have it on my scale. I am, as of this morning, 157.6 pounds.
Solid. How much did you weigh in that before picture? The ab shot. Does I feel like you
145.
really? I thought you were heavier.
Maybe 150. I don't know.
Okay.
My
'Cause at
weight
some
has
point-
stayed the same for like 2 years.
But your body composition changed. Because I remember you
Wildly.
got super lean. Like right after moving out of the Young Street house.
That is because I got hit in the face. I couldn't eat food.
That's true.
That's why. That's why that was.
That's
Wow,
bad.
it's all out.
Yeah.
That's hard to see. Yeah. I also just didn't. I was just too obsessed with it. I was that person where I was too obsessed with what I look like, opposed to how I feel.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's
now
cool. It's
now
cool
you
watching
found a
people
more
change.
balance. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I interrupted you. What did you say?
It's cool watching people change, and just it's cool. It's just cool.
It is cool.
Overall, it's really cool. I say that to people all the time. I'm known because I will come up and stare at people, mask on. So like, you'll see me walk over, but I'm like, no, I'm looking at like, okay, cool. You're doing a shoulder press, and you're a little bit hyperextended, but then you fixed it because you braced your core, and then you have solid foundation. And as you're rising up, like your elbows coming in a bit. To other people, I'm just staring at them.
But you're
To me,
like
I'm like,
analyzing everybody.
Analyzing, because it's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Especially because people will run on the treadmill for half an hour at my work. So I get to watch, I get to do gait analysis on people.
That's really fun.
And
That's cool.
So cool. Oh, it's so cool. I also freak people out too. Where if someone's walking towards me and they're like, oh yeah, this is Max. He's coming in for the first time. Like, Max has a glute injury. He's like, how'd you know that? I'm like, you're just walking me. Like I can tell. You're very compensating. But I don't. If I think about it, I get in my own head about it, and I'm not confident. But if I just immediately stay with a thing, I'm like, oh, that's wrong. I'm like, is it? Oh yeah, it is. And it freaks people out every single time.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Or I saw someone came in today actually, and they had a slight little limp, and they went to go stretch, and I was like, "Are you stretching out your hip?" Oh yeah, it's just because it kind of hurt. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, it's because we did these wild squats 2 weeks ago, and then you haven't taken a rest day, and then you didn't stretch the other day. Well, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, wait. Sorry, but also
like it was just savagery. I love it.
Fitness is so cool.
It is cool, and people don't realize that how vast it is, and yet how simple it is. Because it's cool because you can make it as complicated as you want and get super detailed with everything, or you can just be like, yeah, you're gonna move better, and that's it. And yeah, I love it. I do find people overcomplicated when they don't.
Going back to our topic.
What was their topic again?
Beta males. That was a while ago. Throw back to
Right.
that conversation.
Back to beta males.
It's interesting.
Mhm.
It's really cool, and I find the respect part to be really interesting.
Respect in
brought
what
up.
sense?
Just like people admire hard work,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
they don't like people showboating.
No.
So it's those people who go in, they do their thing, and they don't mention it, they don't bring it up.
Yeah.
And they just have results. Those are the types of people where others are very interested.
Yes. I agree. Okay.
And then Max agrees.
I do agree. I think it's exactly that. Like you're doing something for you because you want to, and you're not. And like I'm sure we had mentioned it before, but you're not doing like as like an alpha male or alpha person, because it could go both ways with like both genders or all genders or whatever it is. But an alpha personality isn't going to be a like showboater. They're getting in, doing the work, and leaving, and
True.
like they'll just do their thing.
I remembered what I was going to say 20 minutes ago. And I brought this up yesterday to our good friend Sam. Not your friend Sam. My friend Sam. And, well, you know Sam. And I because someone came up to me and it was similar to the snarky comment about my deadlift, where someone said something like that, where they were asking me about something that I lifted.
Mhm.
And it was someone that I knew, like not too well, but I just didn't really want to have the conversation. And they're like, oh yeah, what were you squatting? And I was like, oh yeah, I did, 2 plates for a set of whatever. And they were like, oh yeah, that's, I could do that a long time ago. Now I'm doing this. And I wasn't paying attention and I just went, oh yeah, cool. I don't really care though, because I just did this and I thought it was very impressive. And they like, I could hear jaw hit the floor because I just told them I don't care about the one up in what I had to say. And then circling back and being like, yeah, I'm just happy with what I did.
Did you say that word for word? Because that I feel like you would. That's something you would do, but also something that you keep in your head and just like say the latter bit and be like, yeah.
So while I was not paying attention, so I did say it.
Oh.
It was along those lines. It's very similar. And it was the funniest interaction of my life.
What did they do after that? Just nothing? They were just dumbstruck?
Yeah.
Oh my god, you're gonna tell me
They
what
had
this is
no
after.
idea what to say. They're like, oh yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah, cool. Like, what else do you want, guy? Like, what? So, it was really funny. It was really funny. And
You
I
just tell
feel
me who
like
that is. Like not
Yeah,
on the
I
pod,
know,
not right
it was
now
just-
because we don't want to give away names, but you're gonna have
no,
to.
it was just people
me
just
later.
like one-upping others. Oh, especially if they go to ask too. If I'm like, oh Max, what did you do this weekend? You're like, oh, I was gonna hang out with this person, but they canceled plans. I'm like, oh yeah, that sucks. Like, I went out with all of these people though.
Yeah.
And
People who that's the thing that I often am annoyed
That's
by, and I've
a
tried to
beta
not
male
be this
technique.
person, but people who will ask you a question so that you can ask them the question back, and then like they can go on their like little tangent about something. And
It's me.
sometimes
I do that.
I do that too sometimes. I try not to. I try to like let it just like seep into the conversation, like whatever I'm excited about, seep into the conversation organically. But there are times where I'm like, hey, I want to talk about this.
Well, I will always preface it, and I had this with someone the other day where I was asking about. I don't even know. I think it was something. It was something about training. I don't remember. And I was like, "Hey, I want to know your thoughts." It was something about form. I was like, "I want to know your thoughts on this because I want to share what I'm thinking." And they're like, "Oh yeah, well I think this is this." And I was like, "Okay, cool. That's similar to me because I just want to know your opinion because I was thinking like blah 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 blah." I feel like that's less of a
That's
cocky way of doing it.
That's cool though, because you open the floor for conversation in that situation. Because like when you like the way you ask is like, hey, can I ask you about this? Because I wanna relay my bit back to you.
I also typically will not do that unless it's someone who I will respect what they have to say to me, and I'll genuinely appreciate what information they have to give me because I know that they're smart and they know what they're talking about.
Agreed. We're kind of going on a tangent. Do you want to hit the next? What's our next subject?
Next subject. That's all I had.
All right. Well, we got some. Ooh. I want to talk about bodybuilding genetics, which we can then link into. Actually, no. I want to talk about your competitive future first, and then I think we were going to talk about as well. You had said, or you had already talked about your current physique and how you're very happy with it.
Right.
So we could link those two together. So what's the plan?
I had my coworker. She wants to do another show.
Yeah.
Aggressively last night trying to get me to start prep in like February so I can do a May show with her.
So
no.
So counter offer. Start prep in January and do the Mike Clément.
It's not a counter offer though.
It is.
No, because I don't want to do an early show because I want to do a show in the fall.
Okay.
So her counter offer was, well, that's fine. Just do the show with me because it's earlier. Take a month off and then go back into prep. I'm like, no. What? Get out of here.
That's not how bodies work. Also,
she's like, oh, my show's gonna be easy, so you can use it as practice. I'm like, I'm not gonna do 2 shows in a year.
That's not how preps work.
You're amazing.
I mean, like, so here's the thing. It's only a practice prep if the shows are a week apart.
This is correct. My thing as well is because I obsessively plan what I'm going to do. And once I am confident in what I want to do, I will not change it at all.
I know. It's terrifying.
Not happen.
I know.
So I am expecting my bulk to end around March-ish. Middle of March. Tail end of maybe beginning of May. And then from there, we'll figure out.
What you could potentially try is like a recomp so that you're not like an aggressive recomp, like a very like a
blow a bunch of calories.
like a 3,600 calories, like focusing on like upping cardio maybe, and not like you're not going into prep like aggressively yet.
That's what I want. So for people who are like, no, just start prep in January or start prep in February, I'm like, that's a month and a half away. I am loving my life right now and having such a good time. I'm not gonna end.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, I completely agree. And I also feel like if you go into a show and you're not like ready for it or like
I'm not.
it's going to lead to one of two things. The first thing being you do the whole prep and you do the show and it's like not as fun of an experience as you would have liked. And there's a second like option. So like you have a terrible time and you just like stop because you're just like, this is not worth it.
Yeah.
And I feel 100%. Like because you know what you like, you'll just be like, yeah, this isn't for me. I'm out. I'm doing a different one.
Yeah. No, I would like to do something. Oh, freaking King Kong was the other day as well.
Oh, yeah. There's a few guys I knew who competed at that.
I also knew some people who competed, and they both got first. I know
really?
The woman got first. I'm not sure about the guy. They were doing he was doing classic and she did bikini, I think it was. And they're both in masters.
Oh, that's dope.
I know. They did amazing. Oh, they look so good.
That's
Oh
cool.
man, they look so good. And they were hyping me up too. Where when I talked to them a few weeks ago, they were saying, "Yeah, no, like with you, or where you?" Because I was showing them progression stuff. They're like, "Where you've been, how you're doing." Like honestly, just take a year or two, have a great time with your lifts and your training and all that, and then go in and just blow it out of the water.
Honestly, that is some solid advice, because like right
Yeah.
now you're in the perfect spot to grow, and you're growing, and you're in a place where like even if you do start prep, like you'll probably only you'll drop down to like 145 on stage, which is a lot lighter than we want you to.
It
Which
would
isn't
depend.
bad, but it's light.
Yeah, no. yeah.
But also consider you'd be like more shredded than I was.
I would be diced.
Yeah. So not
This
for
is
nothing,
true.
but I was skipping cardio when I shouldn't have been.
It would be. I was thinking about this too. When I have an actual coach, it's gonna be weird. Because if someone tells me to do something, I will do it.
Mm-hmm.
I will complain about it, but I will do it because someone told me to. So I feel like I have to.
Yeah. Did you want me to coach you? We can
You put me
discuss
on
it.
the spot.
We can discuss it later. I don't have to coach
We
you.
can talk about it later.
I'll
I'm
help you
watching-
with posing.
Dude, I'm watching Cam do stuff. Oof. He posted a guy who's about 145, and they did a 12-week recomp.
Nice.
Dude lost 5 pounds, and it's like it was all fat, and he gained some muscle. Like the dude looks amazing.
Solid.
He knows his stuff. He's training a few of my friends.
Oh, that's good. Right on.
He seems like a cool guy. He also asked me if I competed, and it made me feel good.
Nice. Yeah.
Max, I'm sorry.
Why?
What we're talking about? Career bodybuilding.
Bodybuilding. Yeah, did you so I was gonna ask the question, but we're going on a tangent. And go us for staying more or less on topic with this one.
It's working, kinda.
We're working on it. But something else I want to ask is like I don't know what your intentions are with like your future within bodybuilding, because obviously it would be your first show. It would be the one to like test the waters, right? I'm assuming.
Right.
And given that, like I know you'd also like, given the chance, you'd want to compete to win. Now, with that in mind, would you consider like say you do your first show, it's a blast, like would you go on to like try to get a pro card? Do you think?
It depends on how much I like the experience.
That is a valid answer.
It's also, and it might change. I doubt it will change. But I would want to do like classic shows. So like, and that would be a very big step for small
Mhm.
Joshua. And that would take many years. And it's weird describing that to people, especially people who don't know about bodybuilding. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you could do it though. I'm like, you know. There are people who I would compete against on stage would be 30 pounds heavier than I am now. Like it's not.
I'm pretty sure Sebum is like 230 on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That says all you need to know. And like on stage, I was 165-ish.
my heaviest I've ever been was like 168.
We're gonna get you past that 170 mark. That's the plan.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's on the way.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to talk about my competitive history. Or my
Come on, make it
competitive
all about you,
future.
Max. Jeez.
Yeah. It's my turn.
Max came out on a longboard one time and you won.
I did. I was told that that's why I won. I know
That's
it was it definitely, like, it wasn't why I won, but it definitely helped. And that was a blast. So for my first and second shows, I did fitness model category. and you go out twice for those. You go in a swimsuit and you go out with like sportswear. And honest to God, those, yeah,
Weird. That's weird.
It was super cool. And I think that the IFBB, instead of men's physique, should have done that.
Really?
Because we showed legs.
Okay.
And you still have like more freedom with the posing. And like you pose more so like a model or whatever, but like you also have like you could do like a like a soft like bodybuilding pose. Like it doesn't have to be like the way that classic guys do now.
We're not gonna go on a tangent. Clarify now. The last modeling gig I did with Cole. So not my last one, but the one before. I'm an underwear model. People don't know. Yep. And I stand in the window as a live mannequin. And that's all we did for the 2 hours while we were there. Is he would call out, I think because we had masks on too, so they couldn't tell that we were talking. And he would call out, "Hey, hit this pose." And I'd slowly adjust into that pose. And I'd do the same to him. But we wouldn't even call out bodybuilding poses. We would call out like random poses. And kind of like a fitness model. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
And just acting like mannequins. It was a lot of fun. Dope.
I also did the underwear modeling in the window of Under for men. There's shop in Kingston. If you're in Kingston and you need some dope underwear or anything, check them out. This is an unpaid promotion. They have the top-notch stuff. But yeah, my favorite thing about being in the window was like I'd hit a pose and just not move. And then people would come up to the window and look, and then I'd move, and then they'd freak out. And
yup.
And I was like,
it was so fun.
It was so funny.
Yeah, we could talk about this later because we probably have a lot of stories.
I do. Not too many, but like that's the gist of it. Scaring middle-aged ladies. Anyways,
Max wants his pro card.
I do want my pro card. I'm currently qualified for the National Pro Qualifier, the Natural Pro Qualifier. So as a natural men's physique athlete, I can get my pro card. The show itself is this weekend. I'm not competing at it because I wanted to get bigger, because I didn't think I was like big enough at my show. I also want to see if I can qualify in Classic as well. So if that show lines up with another show really well, I might do two, like just 2 in a row, and like just send it. Yeah, I want to try that. That's the goal, man. The goal is to get as big as I can and like as aesthetic as possible.
Reagan won the Egypt Pro.
He did.
That was cool. Was that his first win?
No. He I think he won the Romanian Pro last year, qualifying him for that Olympia. But so I've been waiting for this from Reagan for a long time. So for those of you who don't know, Reagan Grimes is an IFBB pro. He went from open bodybuilding into classic and then back into open bodybuilding. And he looks phenomenal. He's like my age. He's like 26, 27. For a dude who's almost 300 pounds of just muscle, he's very aesthetic. So he's got the tiny waist, big legs. He's got like just head to toe. He's got great everything. His only issue that like I would point out was that he never came in conditioned. And
we have had this conversation.
Probably. He's recently switched coaches, and he's still friends with his old coach, which is good. It was like a healthy, like he just wanted to try something new. And they brought the conditioning for like his last 3 shows. He went first and then second He lost to Sean Clarita because Sean Clarita just looks freaking nuts. And he's
Oh.
like, he's 100
Oh.
pounds less than Reagan.
And that's where like it goes into it because he's larger, but he wasn't as conditioned.
No, I don't even think it was that. And I'm gonna bring up the topic that we were eventually gonna get into, and that is bodybuilding genetics.
Genetics.
Look at that. Look at that segue. So Reagan is like 6 foot 6'1" ish.
Around there, yeah.
Sean Clarita is like 5'5", maybe on a good day. Like he's really short. And he weighs like 185 pounds on stage. Like he's like freaking. He's been compared to Ronnie Coleman.
He's just a ball of muscle
in terms of muscularity. So, and he just felt like doing an open show once, and he's not the current 212 Mr. Olympia. He was last year's 212 Olympia winner. But he got on stage to do an open show, won the open show against Reagan and Sergio, who are dudes who are like top, like one of the top, like they're top level body.
Sergio is large.
Freaking nuts. He can't seem to catch a break because he's just not like landing the mark. And I know that he knows what he's got to work on. There's one thing that he does on stage that I don't like, and it's his front double bicep because he's got the craziest arms, craziest legs. His waist is not big, but he stretches out like this for his front double, and his waist just sort of like it looks strange. I feel like he hits his front double the way you'd hit a back double, and I would like to see how it would look.
Very good way to describe it, actually.
Thank you. I would love to see how it would look if he hit like, I don't know if he could hit a vacuum, but like maybe like a crunched, like an abs shot while doing his front double. Kind of like how Nick Walker started doing his.
Right.
Because Nick Walker, he's got a very thick waist, and when he'd stretch out, it would just make his like everything else look smaller. And then he crunched it down instead and like hit it, and now he looks freaking nuts.
I love it. You were talking about the size comparison.
Yeah.
And that was when because we live texted not this last Olympia, but the one before when C-Bum was going for the double. And we were like, oh, we don't know what's going to happen. We're so concerned. He is like 6'1", 6'2". So he is a few inches taller, but he made everyone look like children.
Well, so
oh my Lord. There's the size difference between that man.
The cool thing about Chris is that his frame is is great. He's got very broad shoulders. His like clavicles are wide, so his waist just comes in. He's got like, I wouldn't say narrow hips, but he doesn't have like big hips. And the way his muscles just insert, they're very like they pop a lot. And then you get a guy who like Terrence Ruffin, who's considerably shorter. But freaking Terrence looks nuts, man.
He looks,
like, jeez.
One day that could be you.
One day it'll be me. I want to be as good a poser as Terrence Ruffin. That's the goal. He's very good. But like back to like the subject of like these guys, like Terrence Ruffin gets on stage like I think sub 200 pounds because he's like less than 5'8".
Yeah, he's a little shorter.
Yeah, like he's not tall. But he's obviously still like packed with muscle, but because of Classic having to do a weight cap for their height, it kind of like they're considerably smaller than what they could be.
Yeah. Back to the topic of Max's bodybuilding career.
We're talking about genetics.
Back to genetics. Max, what would you say that your? Tell me about your genetics.
Ooh. I have the genetics to get really lean. I don't really have the genetics to get really big. However, and I'm gonna use like the old terms like of mesomorph and endomorph and that stuff, but like I would say I like growing up, I was like an ectomorph, like the skinny kid. And then I got off of Concerta and was able to start eating again. And then I guess I kind of shifted into the realm of a mesomorph. So any like weight I put on just went straight to muscle. But I'm also not like genetically predisposed to just have to be like heavily muscled. Like that's something that I have to just eat and eat and eat for. I am lucky that I don't have a very big frame. I do have broad shoulders and like tiny ass hips.
This is incredibly correct.
Yeah.
You're like a 28 waist.
Yeah, I have the waist of a small Asian woman. This is a joke I made because the belt that I have is a belt that I won from our buddy Jackson. It was his girlfriend's belt, and he bet me that I couldn't do something, and I won, and he gave me the belt. We didn't
You were so
resize it.
happy.
He was happy. He was super happy for me because like I didn't die. And when we eventually, I want to have him on, and we'll talk about the whole story, but that'll be another day. But I tried the belt on. We didn't resize it or anything. And it was the same. Like his girlfriend and I apparently have the same size waist. And like 2 years or like 2 years later, it still fits me the same.
Jesus.
Yeah. Actually, if anything, it fits better.
I've noticed with my belt, maybe because it's just worn in, but it very quickly became a bit too small or too loose. Excuse me.
Interesting.
I don't know what happened.
Do you wear the same like hoodie underneath, or did you take a big poo,
Yeah.
or?
I just cleaned up my diet.
Maybe. And do you feel less bloated?
Not bloated. I'm farting like a motherfucker today, but I'm not bloated. It's bad, man. It happened.
That's one thing that Rachel does not miss about prep. Is I had the worst farts.
I'm not excited for when I have to work on prep. Last time there was no one in my studio because it was all online.
Oh.
Now there's gonna be 24 people, and I'm gonna gas them out, and I feel real bad already.
But so here's the thing, and we're gonna take like a spin away from bodybuilding genetics and talk about like just no, not even that. But I want to, because you were kind of grumpy last prep when you started, and I know you don't like that word, and I'm sorry.
That's fine.
But I feel like obviously there was a number of like factors that attributed to your mood. But we're gonna work around making sure that you just like stay in as good a mood as possible throughout like however long your prep is.
This is true. It's also hard because I have to be on.
Yeah.
It's basically performance is my job.
Yeah.
And that is very exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm very tired today.
Fair enough. So I had to essentially guard a pool full of children during prep.
Mm.
I just time it so that my meals coincided with like when I needed to be as like awake as possible. Also, I didn't reduce calories too much.
The macro shift is wild though. I realized that with my meals during prep, I was at like 50, 60 grams of uncooked rice. I'm at like 110 now. So much rice.
Uncooked or cooked?
Uncooked.
Okay.
So that's about 300 grams cooked ish.
Jeez, that's bananas.
Shoveling.
Because I had during prep, I'd have like 150 grams cooked rice, and then like 150 plus between 150 and like 180 grams of chicken cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thing is I didn't give up my oatmeal recipe. Just like half my carbs in one meal. Yeah.
I'd change that.
Yeah. So that was a big
Yeah.
We'll
Like,
change it.
like have a few carbs in the morning and then like space your carbs throughout the day.
Nah, that was my practice run. It's fine.
Yeah,
We're good.
exactly. Practice.
Genetics. Talking about arms. Arms are, you need to bring those up.
So I think that's just laziness, to be honest. Like I don't have the genetics for like colossal arms, but I also don't have the genetics for like no arm because my bicep peak isn't the worst. Like you can kind of see it through the sweater. But like I do have short insertion points. You got like that crazy like long insertion point.
So much more aesthetic. In my opinion, I find long bicep insertions to be the coolest.
Well, lucky you. But for me, I don't think I have bad genetics. I just need to eat like so much to put on mass. And I'm very lucky because I have a small frame. All my joints are very small, so they make my muscles look bigger than they actually are.
What muscles?
Pardon?
People keep telling me that my shoulders are getting large, which is weird because I always felt like I had small shoulders, and I've just been aggressively attacking them for 2 years.
Well, like forming like a perfectly round delt is very tough, and it's like
I have it on the right side, and the left side, my root delt is not there, and I hate it.
Do like single arm stuff.
I am going to include bent over single arm cables.
Why bent over?
Expose myself. I don't know. I have chest.
You do have a good chest.
And I'm lean, and I think that's it.
I
don't really think I have anything else.
Well, you have like long insertion points, which is good. So you fill out when you like fill out, you fill out very well. Your abs are very symmetrical. That's another thing. You're very like side to side, very symmetrical.
My one bicep, my left arm, just in general, is smaller. But that's an easy fix.
Yeah. Just like extra reps on the other side.
Yeah, I've noticed that my left tricep is now stronger than my right tricep.
That happened to me, and I don't understand it.
But my left shoulder is weaker. And my left bicep's smaller. And my left root delt isn't there. I don't know what's going on in my body. I just want to eat, actually. I'm going to be honest. I just want to... Talking about this, all I can think about is when this is done. I'm like, I'm not even going to make burgers. I'm just going to make pancakes. It takes 2 seconds.
Ooh. Yeah, that C-bomb recipe?
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I use.
Yeah, that's why I said.
It's like a Jack's Factory recipe from a few years ago.
Without using the Jack Factory protein powder, because I assume that because he's no longer with Jack Factory.
He's not. He's he co-owner or something?
Co-owner of Raw Nutrition.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
It's very cool. I had my friend talk to me the other day, and he's like, "Hey, do you remember that Chris Bumstead guy you told me about?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, I didn't really know anything about him." He's like, "Well, now I started, following my Instagram and I watch his YouTube videos. He's a really funny, realistic guy." I'm like, "I know."
I think that's why he picked up so much like momentum, like in terms of social media, because like he's like the best in the world. But like at the end of the day, he's just like a normal like 26-year-old dude who's like, and I used like normal, like he's like on the inside is just like a 26-year-old dude who's here to have a good time and do something that he loves. I
Yeah.
think like people could really relate to that because like he's a young guy coming up. He's having fun with it.
The one thing I always remember is during the first lockdown that would have been,
Mhm.
I don't know. He was doing some video where he was in his apartment before he bought his house.
Oh yeah.
This guy had like 80 hoodies, and I aspire to be there.
So many hoodies.
I was so excited. That was the highlight of the video.
How do you have that many hoodies? Like
I don't know,
couldn't.
but I want it.
Fair enough. I don't know if I could handle that many hoodies. I already have like too many, and I like all of them. But
I don't
also
wear any of my zip ups at all.
now
No, absolutely not.
I have one. I have two zip ups. One's a Gymshark one that I don't like the way it fits, and
Is that
the other one.
is that the really old one?
It looks. It's the reissue.
The white and blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one. That one was cool.
So, you can't see it.
See the Supermax one.
Yeah, it's got like it's like one of the. It looks like the OG one, but it's like the revamped to be newer and more modern looking.
It's hip.
It's like not quite purple, but not quite blue.
Yeah, it's weird color.
Yeah,
It's like how my blackout curtain looks right now.
it looks very blue.
No, it's black.
Yeah,
Just
I
hanging
believe
out.
you. I believe you.
The cheeks are blue though.
Are they? They look the same color from here.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, we have 20 minutes left. What's Max want to talk about?
Well, we don't have to fill out the whole 20 minutes, but there's something
Let's
else you
name
want us
drop
to talk?
people and say negative things.
Just shit talk, nonstop. Actually, no. I'm gonna hype up somebody.
Not
So at
Rachel.
the gym the other day, Rachel's benching, and this dude comes
Yeah.
up to her, and lo and behold, it's your boy, Pete Dems. Because Pete Dems, he's my younger brother. He started working at training at the gym that I'm training at, Monster Gym.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he
dope.
started a little while ago, and he's like started to get back into it very seriously, and he's crushing it. Yeah, I got him to come spot me the other day.
That's awesome.
It was just like the old days when we used to train at the little dungeon gym at Dorval. We just hit arms together and we just push each other super hard. It was a blast.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Mhm. I had him try the pitch shark, and like I was like, I think we had 5 plates per side, and he got like 15 reps.
Wait. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think because ours has the big steel 100-pound plates. So when you say 5 plates, I'm like, oh,
5 45-pound plates.
so it's
per
around
side.
the same as what I would use, like the hundreds, and then throw on like some 45s as well.
Potentially, yeah.
That's the most satisfying thing, is slamming the metal plates back.
Yeah.
And
On
people
any
get
lift.
mad, like, hey, I don't really care.
Just like a chunk. It was good. But he crushed it.
satisfying.
He got to like 10 and was like gasping, and like you could tell that he was like hurting, but like it's like, hey, you got 5 more, and he just like powered through it, and then he did I think another set of 12 or something like that afterwards. I had to head out.
We
He
like that
crushed
drive.
it.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I'm trying to organize like a training session with him, but he's doing push-pull legs and I'm doing my bro split. And it's like trying to figure out when our days will line up has been tough.
See, push-pull legs it's easy, but also difficult in that regard.
A little bit.
Like, I want to switch it, but it's also very easy if I want to be like, oh yeah, let's just hit this, and I'll hit back, a day earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's also what I like about my push-pull leg.
Mm-hmm.
Is this push-pull leg, but I do a 7-day split, 8-day split, whatever you say, and it's chest. Was it? Oh, push pull leg. It's chest, quads, and lats, and then it's delt, hamstrings, and mid back. It's like, I'll have like one movement for like quads on my hamstring day, so it's not all whatever.
Yeah.
But it like, I don't know. It lets me be in the gym more, and that's
fair.
ultimately a plus.
Yeah. I was thinking about switching to push pull leg, and the only thing holding me back is that I've been progressing really well doing lower volume and just like gassing myself out on that 1 day a week. That's the only thing holding me back. So what I might end up doing is just trying it for like 4 to 6 weeks and like just doing like alternating muscle groups like for the quads and like hamstrings or something like that.
I like seeing all the memes of people shit talking PPL and hyping up bro split.
Well, like, it's not that whichever one works best for you, it works best for you. It's not like it's either one is magic.
Chris Bumstead has like such a weird. It's like a 9-day split.
That's the other thing I've been contemplating, because if I could fit all of that into like the training block, like the week long training block, then like
Why
fantastic.
If it works for you.
Yeah. I might opt for that one instead.
I had a chat with Miles about that.
Ooh.
You remember Miles?
Miles Cornell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was showing me his. We were sharing. I was showing it like on my phone when I had put in like a Google Sheets document, and he was showing these written down. But he had the same thing, and he talked about how it works so much better for him, where he has a good mix between volume and intensity, but it's also he's not set on a certain day of the week. His also floats throughout the week like mine does.
Yeah.
And he's like, it doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter when I get it in. It doesn't matter when I get my rest days in. It's just, hey, I have push day 1 where I'm focusing on this movement and I'm doing this. And he's like,
Honestly,
and if I don't like this exercise, I swap it up for something different. That's kind of similar. Like,
that's totally fair, to be honest. And that's kind of why I used to do. That's kind of the opposite reason is why I do like the Monday to Friday split, because I know that on those specific days, like I know I have the time to like spend a bunch of time on leg day, to spend a bunch of time on like my longest day, which is chest and arms. And like I kind of time everything out so that I have the ability to train everything.
That's good. I had the opposite, where Thursday, it was my day to sleep in because I was supposed to work 11:30 to 8, something like that. And I woke up at 4 a.m. and ate a bunch of meals, trained at 8 a.m. because I had to hit legs, and I knew I have more volume, so I'm gonna have to train longer, and there's just a whole nightmare. And then this coming week, I have to work from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. And I was like, oh, it's gonna suck, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, it's my rest day this time. Awesome.
Fabulous.
Hyped. And then I hit deadlifts. Nope. I hit squats for sets of 5 on my day off when I eat Five Guys and my friends coming down. And I'm excited. Friday's my favorite day because I have it off. I do HIIT training at like 5 a.m. Hang out, eat 2 meals, take a nap, wake up, eat another 2 meals, go train. It's Friday. I have the next day off. I'm maybe not the most sober. Eat a bunch of really bad food. There's no such thing as bad food. It's very unhealthy food. Go to sleep early. Just it works out. It's such a good day. I don't have to worry about
non-traditional
anyone.
diet food.
Five Guys is not good food. We're gonna be honest. Like
Better than McDonald's. At least it's real beef.
beef. Oh, real freaking tasty.
Oh, so good. Maybe I'll get Five Guys soon.
Damien wanted me to when I go to train with them in Ottawa. Because I have Friday, Saturday off. He's like, why don't you come down on Friday and we get Five Guys and we'll watch movies, and we'll sleep over, and then we'll wake up, eat some food, go train in the morning. I'm like, that actually, I don't like hanging out with people, but that also sounds like a perfect day.
But you like hanging out with Damien. Damien's a good time.
I haven't hung out with Damien in like 3 years.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
Oh my god. That's
Is it 3-ish?
well, it's at least 2 because of COVID.
2. So when Cole was on prep. Yeah.
That's bananas, man.
That was he told me that when he comes back. So he had left Kingston
Yeah.
for the summer. He went back to Ottawa. And this was back when we were in school. And he told me that when he came back, he wanted me to be able to shoulder press 50s. And I was so determined to do it. Didn't change my plan at all or training. And I could get, he wanted sets of 10. And I got a set of like 8 and a rough 9. And I was mad that he was so proud of me. It's like, yes. Let's go.
Love it.
It was good. It was wholesome. I'm excited. I'm excited for Max to come down.
Me too.
Oh, train together.
We're gonna train together. We're gonna do the craziest leg day. Hopefully I can get into Omega this time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will be able to.
Mm-hmm. I hope I see
really calm down. What?
I hope I see everybody.
It'll be good. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
I assume we'll train in Omega and then
And then what?
the
We'll do
fourth.
both. Yeah. Depends what we hit.
Max, here's my final question. We got 8 minutes.
All right.
I hit deadlifts on my second leg day, and I get relentlessly made fun of for it because it's not on my back day. It's a hamstring movement.
It's a hamstring and glute movement. Like if your back is the only thing working, then you're doing deadlifts wrong.
Yeah, but you're pulling it and it grows a bigger back. Shut up.
Like it does, but it also builds the cheeks. Like your glutes are gonna grow from it, and your hamstrings are gonna grow from it, and your quads, even like though they're not a primary mover, they're a secondary mover, and they're gonna help to grow with that. And now,
I want your thoughts on that.
no, that's it. Like it's a valid leg day exercise. We had received a question last week that we didn't get the chance to answer.
Received a few questions.
I think it was from Colt.
Oh my god.
And I really wanted to answer it because it was ridiculous. And I loved
He's not gonna
it.
watch it. I don't even know why we're gonna answer the question.
Well, now he has to watch it because we gave him a shout out. And,
Someone tagged me or something.
and he gave us a great question.
Am I trying to look for the question? Is that?
I don't know. You're looking at something.
I just want to know if you had the question like on hand.
I do not.
Can I? Okay, I might have to go to Story Archive, right?
Possibly.
I'm gonna see if I can find this.
I remember the questions. I just don't remember which animals were used.
It was I don't even remember what it was actually.
It was,
Oh wait, here, wait.
oh,
Yeah.
I remember.
Would you rather fight a T-Rex sized snail or 10,000 snail sized T-Rexes? Obviously, snail sized T-Rex.
Yeah.
Be like that big.
Yeah. Also, well, it depends how big this snail is, because there's some snails that are like this
Stop.
big. You know I'm right. Like we talking like basic garden snails or what?
Cole, give us the information.
He can give us the information next time. He can message you or me. I don't think he follows me, so he can text you.
Well, that's because the snail meme popped up again. It pops up every 2 or 3 years.
It does. I love it. It's
such a good hypothetical question.
It is. I would. I love it. Put the snail under a cup.
No, it's gonna move the cup though.
That's okay. Can't
It's gonna
touch it
get
if
out.
it's under a cup.
It's gonna get out.
Ah,
All right, I need food and a desperate potty break.
all right. And that is it for tonight, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And share with your friends because, hey, maybe they want something to listen to while they do the dishes. I hope you guys have a lovely evening. Josh is ready to rock and roll. Look at those guns. Oh, yeah.
Getting it.
He doesn't have a license for those. Don't call the cops on him.
Pacifist.
We will catch you next time.